pause. We pause for a second or two. This is episode 126, Autumn Electricity. We have arrived at our fourth and last season of this first year of pause. We started the pause year, with talking about winter, and then we moved on to spring. Now we have come out of summer and are entering autumn. We are dedicating one episode to each season because we are very much affected by the seasons, whether we like it or not. Autumn is now approaching here, where I live in Sweden. The temperatures are some days a bit colder. The winds have gotten somewhat colder. It's still quite ambivalent. Some days colder, some days warmer. But autumn is definitely in the air. Autumn is the time when the summer is laying down to rest. Autumn is a time of slowing down, a time of deceleration, a time of growing colder. And going from warm, active, and sexual to colder, more passive, and more asexual. That is a difficult transition. Today's episode is called Autumn Electricity. And electricity is a suitable word to describe the feeling in the air once autumn is coming. There is something in the combination of the light, the air, the temperature, the humidity, and how we feel in our bodies coming out of summer, that combined produces this electric feeling. Also, when autumn is coming, our body is getting ready for winter. We are preparing ourselves for cold, dark, and scarcity. Within this electricity, there is this sort of reallocation going on inside of us. This reallocation of our energy, our intention, our efforts. Something that might have seemed like a good idea during summer, come autumn, feels different. The electricity in the autumn air has a feeling to it that can be interpreted as religious or magical or romantic, like falling in love. The electricity makes our life feel important, makes it feel special, makes it feel like we are indeed not replaceable. Our life is not replaceable. Hence, this electric feeling demands a lot from us. In some way, it is easier to think of ourselves as expendable, as unimportant. To be special or romantic is connected with greater risk. To feel important is connected with greater risk. We have more to lose. And this year, the feeling of importance, the feeling of having a lot to lose is not very pleasant this year. Because this year there is conflict and war in the air. So peacetime autumn, peacetime electricity can feel welcomed, can feel nice. But wartime electricity, wartime importance, having a lot to lose in wartime is a completely different feeling. We can imagine that this year less people will be willing to pause and savor the romantic, religious feeling out of autumn. Chances are high that many people will try to rush through autumn, try to distract themselves with many different tasks, many different checklists, so that life just feels less. Autumn is also a time when young people are more suggestible. This electricity that we are talking about, like we said, has this religious feeling to it, this romantic feeling to it. And young people are more suggestible. They will more readily be drawn to something aesthetically pleasing, something larger than life. So chances are high that we will see a shift in attitudes among young people now, this autumn. That perhaps we will see some form of a movement, youth movement, in one direction or another, with romantic undertones. And perhaps some issue that we haven't really heard young people talk about now in this context of romantic autumn electricity, they might now talk about. Autumn is a time of making plans, because our bodies coming out of summer and entering the cold half of the year, our bodies want predictability. Our bodies want guarantees, reassurances. So many people will now, come autumn, make long-term plans. We might make investments. We might sign up on something new, something to last us through the cold half of the year to come. This has also been a difficult summer. It has been a conflict, wartime summer. So all of us will also have disappointments and negative memories coming from this past summer. So this first part of autumn will also be a time of sobering up, so to speak, from the haze of summer, and feeling somewhat sad, somewhat disappointed, somewhat angry about specific experiences we might have had during the summer. In times of conflict, there are a lot of humiliation going on during the summer. Whenever there is a lot of sexual energy flying around, there will inevitably be moments of humiliation. It comes with the territory. So this first part of autumn now coming we will have to deal with humiliation and disappointments from summer. It will be and prove more difficult to pause now in the initial stages of autumn, also for this reason, that it is not fun to pause when we feel that we have some experiences of humiliation pressing from our hearts. It's not fun. Also, now, as our bodies are getting ready for the cold half of the year, we will also see some prolific figures shifting. We will see high-profile people changing their tune, so to speak. It's one thing to say something during spring or summer, and it's another to say the same thing come the winter, come the cold. A prospect might seem like one thing when we have the warmth ahead of us, still ahead of us, for example, as in spring, but it's quite another to present something when we have cold to wait on, cold to wait for. So we might have to prepare ourselves to see high-profile people changing their stance on big issues. And in closing, this autumn electricity, it has this quality to it that transcends time and space. It has this, as we have said, this religious quality to it. And the electricity of this autumn connects to the electricity of every autumn, past and future. So there is this sort of transcendence to it. There is this sort of timeless energy in it. And if we are bold enough to pause for a second or two and experience this autumn electricity, we have a great source of grounding in it, because it connects with something eternal. There is something profound, something very important about the receding of life, of the laying down to rest. There is something profound of a summer cooling down, and in it there is certainty. It might feel melancholic, it might feel difficult to accept, but it is sound, it is certain, and in it there is reassurance. Sometimes sadness is the most reassuring. And we can spend a minute or two just pausing in this knowledge. That's it for today. Thank you.